it's not too late for the Cowboys, and maybe in hindsight we'll say last night was the spark. And I want to start at the very beginning because I don't want to lose sight of what happened as we're watching the Cowboys with the ball for the first time. They go out on the field, starting offense, no 88, no 3. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens benched for the opening drive. And during the broadcast, they acknowledged that the Cowboys had conceded, and obviously anyone that was watching the game knew that they weren't there, but they didn't get into the why. We didn't get to the why until after the game, and the why is still unclear. It was explained by Brian Schottenheimer as there were some things that were missed by Lamb and Pickens. Now, I don't know. I mean, is it meetings? Is it treatment? I don't know. But they did something to get themselves benched for the first quarter, and it didn't matter at the end of the day. But it really was just kind of a weird thing, and I think we're more sensitive to this kind of stuff now. I know I am, Devin, because with all this talk about gambling, you can't have secrets like that. And I really do think that part of the effort, as the league takes a step back and asks itself, how can we be more transparent when it comes to injuries? Well, the whole reason you're being transparent about injuries is because you want everyone to know who's going to be playing. And if you're going to have some sort of a disciplinary action that causes a guy to be benched for a drive, for a quarter, or whatever, there's going to be an expectation at some point that people know, that they let people know. Because I don't know all the different permutations you can bet on, but I assume somebody out there could bet on CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens to score a touchdown on the opening drive. It'd be nice to know that they're not going to be on the field for the opening drive before the game starts. And that's just something that it causes us to view the game differently than we ever used to. And, hey, the NFL welcomed the wolf into the house. This is what happens when the wolf gets inside and starts breaking stuff. I almost said the other word, but we've been asked to curtail the swearing. Now that we're on NBCSN, it will last for at least today or the rest of this segment or until I forget the next time. But that just makes it seem stranger. We've seen this in the past. The fact that it was two guys and the fact that it happens in this era of, hey, we should be more transparent about these things, it just made that a weird vibe to start the game.
Yeah, I agree with you because, I don't bet on the games, but I gotta imagine is one who makes the first catch of the game, who's Dak's first completion. I think the odds to be Pickens or Lamb, but the thought about if they're not out there the first series and you pick somebody else that you would never think to be on the field, that is totally a different thing. But I do think back as a player. I was a part of 2010, the whole Rex Ryan and Wes Welker with Wes saying, dip one toe, foot this, feet, that whole thing. And Wes ends up not starting the game on the offensive side. But that was a true team thing. That wasn't a thing where it was going to be spoken about. It was just, hey, this is what we're doing. As a player, I had no idea. It was the offense. Maybe Tom knew, maybe the whole offense knew, or maybe just Tom and whoever went in for Wes that was taking his. But it wasn't a team announcement. No one knew. And I think this was very similar. We've talked about our guy, Tyquan Underwood. He's on the Dallas staff. He's a big fan of the show, so he'll see this episode. Soon as the game starts, we're all in the group chat damn, Ty, you're not gonna tell any of us? We got these guys out here we had no idea. So we're in the group chat man, were they out partying late in Vegas? Because none of us had any idea. And I think that was probably a similar situation because I'm sure he found out right before the game or something like that, because when these things happen, I think the team and the head coach tries to protect everybody involved. Whatever happened was big enough that they felt that they had to discipline them, but not big enough that it was, we're gonna bench them for the whole game. Where it was hey, you're just gonna sit out the first series. You did something where we don't approve. Maybe they missed a meeting or they were late to a meeting, something like that, where Schottenheimer said, hey, we got to set the tone for the team. We're not going to allow this. We're going to go on this run, and we're going to say we're serious about making the playoffs. It starts now. We're sitting these guys at first series, and then we're moving on. And that's what it looked like. Schottenheimer came over to celebrations on the side. George Pickens jumped on the field goal post. Like, I was like, yo, you got benched the first series of the game, and you scored a touchdown, and you picked up a 15-yard penalty. I was like, incredible. But George Pickens is not the guy.
Williams did the night before.
George Pickens is not watching football. Sunday night, George Pickens was not watching the Sunday night football game. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say there was something else he was doing that he just wasn't watching Sunday night football. I doubt it.
But I guarantee you, as he's doing this on his phone, he saw that he had to see it at some point, because everybody's got their head in their phone and they're on social media. He had to know about what Jameson Williams did. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.